Yeah, let's see who goes to the grand finals. We got ourselves a semis here. Best of 3, and spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Solaris, we have Talons Dark. Dark joining that nice new shiny team. We love to see it. And his opponent in the lower left-hand corner for Dragon Kitesy, it is Oliveira. You have 2 world champions here. Technically, you could argue 2 reigning world champions in a way. As Oliveira, of course, won the most recent world championship. This past Katowice was not the world championship. And Katowice, I don't think, will be the world championship. At least it's not planned to in the future. So Oliveira can hold that title. And Dark, similarly, won the very last BlizzCon, the very last WCS World Championship. So, you know, like in a way, he's still the reigning BlizzCon WCS World Championship winner, right? World champion, that would be. So we have the WCS World Champion against the IEM World Champion. And then this year, the World Championship is going to be at the what's it called? The massive giant tournament in Riyadh. So, you know. I just like when there's 2 world champions fighting each other. And Dark's going to open it up with something nice and spicy for us. Just a quick, easy, breezy Roach Warren. Gonna bust some roaches out, send them across the map. We're gonna see how Oliveira's defense is against early roaches and ravagers. Now, we've seen these guys play many a time before in KSL and EPT Cups, and I'm sure in World Team League and things like that. Although they were on the same team for a long time, so probably didn't see them fighting in World Team League too often. But it's usually very close. We've had both of these players win. Both of these players look dominant in varying games or series. So I'm excited to see this. The Reaper has scouted the roaches and is running home to tell his friends. Now, of course, the base on the low ground is going to be able to get finished here, no problem. Oliveira is just going to build a bunker on the high ground and stay up here. Cyclone is on the way. The Cyclone is going to be key. But the first couple of roaches are already here. The Overlord is coming over to give that high ground vision to allow the roaches to start hitting the supply depots, the Ravagers to start filing things down. I think Oliveira is in a good position to defend this, but still some potential for damage here out of Dark. Dark, though, is the kind of player where he knows exactly how much to commit here to put himself in a decent spot. He's not going to kill Oliveira. But also, Dark should be able to be looking nice after this. And we already see him droning up. I think he's going to force a lift up on this base. Ooh, that's a nice lock on there for the Cyclone, but he doesn't quite get the Overlord. Base is forced to lift. And I think this depot will go down, and that's probably going to be it for now. But Dark, he's going to go take a third base. He's up to 35 workers. Got to be feeling pretty good back at home. And as long as he keeps these Ravagers alive, he'll be in an okay spot. The Cyclones can be annoying to deal with against those, but the Biles make that a lot harder for the Cyclones to deal with. One more Roach goes down. Dark not able to pull that back. The Overlord will pop. Looks like one Ravager is going to fall. Oh, but the Cyclones. Wait, hold on. Oh, these last Marines. Getting those last couple of hits. So now it's only 2 Ravagers. The Cyclones do go down. So a bit of a trade here. Oh, Oliveira, please focus the low Ravager. I guess it doesn't matter, but he will take the rest of those out. And Overlord is here, actually. That could be free pickings for Oliveira, who does have a 3rd CC behind this. So, yes, he wasn't able to take this base for a long time, but he clears that army. He does kill those very expensive Ravagers, very gas-heavy Ravagers. Loses a couple of Cyclones, but still has some pressure potential on this side of the map. Going to stop the 4th base from going down. And just overall be kind of annoying here to the Zerg. It's not really likely to get much damage done. But it's forcing Dark to build some roaches that he wouldn't really want to build. If this medevac didn't come across the map, Dark probably wouldn't have built these roaches. But he's kind of forced to. And it's giving Oliveira time on his side of the map to just getting up into a good spot. Look at the massive mule hammer on this base. Going to skyrocket his income. Just boom, blasting him. Blasting those minerals into his base is actually insane. And that's going to allow him to just build a bunch of SCVs, get as many units out as possible, start up those upgrades. Dark's in a fine spot as well. We see him jumping up to 57 workers. He's the lair on the way. His fourth base has gone down. It's about halfway done. So I think Dark's still in an okay spot, but I like the way Oliveira handled this. I like how it ended up going for Oliveira. I think he should be pretty happy with it, and he's going to put down a 4th CC as he takes his 3rd. Getting into siege tanks, which are known for being very good against roaches. And we are going to see roaches continuing to be made here for Dark, as he's got the +1 missile attacks on the way, as well as roach speed and ling speed. Because it's Dark, so his ling speed is timed with his roach speed. And see, this is the kind of stuff that Oliveira is he's just being annoying. He's just going to do a bunch of random damage to this base. Look at that. He took off like 500 hit points. Yeah. Ooh, okay, Dark. I was not expecting this one. We'll see if Oliveira is able to get the scout off. I kind of doubt it, though, unless he scans the middle, which, why would he? He's just poking the outside here. He's going to see a handful of roaches. That doesn't mean anything, though. I don't think he's going to see that it's been non-stop roach production from Dark, and Dark is just going to continue building roaches as he Niduses the corner, and oh no, look at the space. It's right here. Oliveira doesn't have vision of this corner of his main base, and I know where that Nidus Worm is going to go down. I know exactly where it's going to be going. However, in the meantime, Oliveira is pushing. He's going to be able to take down this 4th base. Now, Oliveira sees that there are no drones at that 4th, and that has to be so scary. What is his opponent doing that he's got no drones at his 4th? He's going to scan the 3rd. Where's the Nidus? There's the Nidus. Ooh, it is actually in vision range. Dark's going to hit the front, but with multiple siege tanks here, it's not going to get much done. And because that Nidus is just barely in range, Oliveira's going to be able to get up here, and yeah, it's not queens in there. It's just a handful of roaches. They're going to pop out. The Nidus will die. All the roaches will die. And Dark is suddenly in a lot of trouble here. Oh, no. Running up this ramp into multiple siege tanks, losing all of his Ravagers. Oh, this is going from bad to worse for Dark. Oliveira, I mean, he's in a great spot. He's starting up 2-2. He's got a planetary morphing at the 4th base. If he's just able to keep defending here, I mean, Dark, he lost his 4th. He's at 70 drones. He just has to keep building roaches, and roaches do not win in even army supply fights against marine tank. They just don't do it. So Dark, I mean, now he's playing in a very scrappy position here, and Dark is excellent in scrappy positions, but that is still not where you want to be. Oliveira has got to be feeling very good about his position right now. These medevac's checking things out, seeing where the roaches and Ravagers are. Going to be able to take down this Nidus Worm, and the Marines should be able to back up. Dark does not want to engage into these tanks. There's like 5 tanks here. That's just a lot of siege tanks. He does not have the kind of Ravagers he would need to just bile everything down. Oliveira has them nice and split. He's got bunkers up because he knows he's got to be playing defensive. And Dark, he's going to go ahead and take a 5th base. His 4th is just now popping. But we see he doesn't have a ton of creep spread, just a couple of lanes. They're going okay. But because he doesn't have all of those extra queens you would normally get in a macro ZVT, he's just got to deal with the active tumors he has. The nice thing right now is Oliveira has been kept back at home for a long time, so he's not able to clear any of that creep up. But as we see Oliveira start to push out on the map at all, it's going to be very hard for Dark to anticipate what's coming. Now Oliveira, he's going to have to defend this base. The tank's sieging up a little late. The base that was building does get canceled there as the Ravager Biles cover the retreat. But the Planetary has 16 kills, and at the same time, we've got a double drop over here. Some Lings and Roaches trying to hold on, but that's not enough Lings and Roaches. And now the Lings are going to spill in a few at a time. Whoa, we're getting a little lag. I think that was just on, hopefully not the players feeling that lag. Yeah. Yeah. All right, who's lagging? I'm actually doing just fine right now. All right, hopefully we
game resumed.
Eliminate the lag. This game's getting very tense. Oliveira gets out of there. The base does stay alive, but a lot of Lings went down. And this double drop is still out here, still threatening, so Dark's got to leave stuff back at home. He had to bring all of his attacking units back home after they got basically nothing done. Oliveira's just going to dive in and fight against these Roaches, target a few down, and just keep some Marines alive. Look at the field of Ravager Biles. That was insane. Well, I mean, Dark's creep spread is looking quite nice, despite just being one lane of tumors on each side here. He's going to go ahead and drop the Nidus Worm over here. This is like a reinforcement Nidus Worm. It's going to allow him to maneuver around a little more easily. It's not something we see super often used by the Zerg, but can be a really nice way to get your army from one position to another pretty quickly. And at the same time, he's going to expand towards the top side. Dark needs to get into the higher tech. That's his plan here. But Oliveira already has ghosts coming out. So as these Vipers are coming out, ooh, Roaches and Ravagers going to get sniped. They will take down one of those siege tanks, but Marine's going to dive forward. Another tank going to get taken down here. Let's see if there's enough for Oliveira to fight against these Roaches and Ravagers. The retreating Roaches getting sniped again. I don't think Dark has enough to fight this out right now. The Biles do make it a bit more complicated, but Oliveira's army is so strong. Maybe he went a little too far away from the siege tanks, though. He's going to have to pull back. Ghosts starting to get taken out here. Actually, the Marines have all died. Without those Marines, the Ghosts are very vulnerable, even with the siege tanks nearby. We do see Hydras coming out for Dark, so that means he's going to be getting into Lurkers. He's going to have some Roaches left, but it looks like it's mostly going to be like Ling, Lurker, Hydra, Viper. I don't think he's really made many Roaches recently. But again, the Ghosts here from Oliveira make that a lot more difficult. Oliveira's in a much better spot heading into the late game than you normally expect the Terran to be, because Dark put himself so far behind early on. And he really hasn't taken the trades to justify it either. Like, Oliveira's mining has been fantastic. It's been very, very back and forth and competitive this game in terms of the mining. And that just means Oliveira's in a better spot. As these Lurkers start morphing, he's already very well prepared for him. Look at this forward sensor tower. He's got one at the 4th as well. 5th base is up and running. Dark might try some more cheeky Nidus play here. He is going to drop a Nidus in the main. Well, Oliveira is already somewhat prepared for it, but he's a little bit more focused on the front, perhaps, getting some snipes off. And I think this Nidus is actually going to get up. None of these units can shoot it. Whoa! The Nidus gets killed, but a lot of the Lurkers get out. A couple of the Ghosts will cloak. At the same time, this army's going to pull back. The base just barely staying alive here. There's 5 Lurkers in this base. Another Nidus coming up. Scan goes down. A bunch more Lurkers pop. Dark, he's just getting everything into this main base, getting on top of all of the production as the Hydras pop out as well. Remember this Nidus Worm? The army just ran into that so that they could get into the main base. Now Oliveira has to bring everything home. Oh, and this is so difficult to deal with. So many Lurkers up here in the base with the Roaches and Hydras nearby. The Niduses are dying, so there's no retreat path for these units right now. But at the same time, there's Lurkers down here being annoying. Looks like they will get cleaned up. There's one Lurker over here. And so many SCVs are falling. The main base dies. Almost all of the barracks that were in the main are dead. The starport is dead. There's actually no starport on the map now. The Ghost Academy is potentially going to be next on the list. And Oliveira's just going to have no way to spend his money. Not that he's going to have much. He's lost 32 SCVs. His 5th base isn't mining. His 4th base is finally back to it with a few SCVs. But there's a lurker here at the 3rd as well. Dark is just absolutely everywhere. And now he's going to dive in here. Drops a blinding cloud after yoinking the tanks into it. And he's going to go ahead and take those siege tanks out, just getting value all over the place. That lurker finally cleared up, but the main base is still in shambles. This lurker going to try to go to the low ground. Will not get burrowed, though, so at least that's one victory for Oliveira. It looks like the tank might escape, but there's just so little left here. He's rebuilding barracks in the middle of his bases. But again, Dark, he's clearing the middle of the map now. These tanks are all out here on their own. And the Hydras are just going to take them down, gun them down. There's lurkers spread out. This one is still here. It has 25 kills, 56, 57 SCVs on the counter, and it's still going up. These lurkers finally going to get cleared up in the main, but Dark, he still has a few units up here. 2 more morphing lurkers, another Hydra. The lurker finally gets popped. 65 SCVs, though. There's even Hydras back here. GG, dude. Oh, my God. That game was so, like, the position was so good for Oliveira. If Dark just kind of plays it straight up and we're just macroing. But the moment that Nidus was able to pop in the main base, those first few lurkers got out. Dark just took that edge and he just peeled back everything Oliveira had on the defense. Not only killing a ton of the production in the main, I mean, he killed everything in the main base by the end of that, but also using that moment where the army pulls back as a distraction to get like 4 lurkers into key positions on 3 bases and just kill like 30 workers with them while Oliveira's trying to deal with that main base. At the same time, Dark hitting the tanks that were left out. I mean, just actually insane play there out of Dark. That is crazy, crazy looking late game. A lot of it does come down to that Nidus, but I do feel like there's a chance Dark's able to do a lot of that anyways. Even if the Nidus doesn't get up, it could draw Oliveira's focus for a little bit. Maybe those lurkers do still get into the 4th and 5th bases, cause some SCV damage. But I feel like that Nidus was what really just put the nail in the coffin. All that too off the back of the like big Roach Ravager Nidus attempt that just completely failed. Any other Zerg is dead after that. But no, not this guy. This guy's like, I'm down a bunch of workers. I'm on inferior tech. That's okay. We'll be all right. Don't worry, I got this. And now spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have Talons Dark.
Oh man, Chickenman. Wow.
Oh man, Bagels man. Wow. 51-month resubscription. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much, Rainy Bagels. I appreciate you. And spawning in the lower right-hand corner, we have Dragon Kites's Oliveira. Bagels, I hope you're well, my friend. I hope things are good and happy in your life. Oliveira going for the low ground barracks here, which is interesting. It's just the single racks, though. Not going for the low ground 2 racks situation here for the Reapers. Very interesting. Kish just wants to get that wall up. It's funny, we for a long time didn't see Terrans putting their production at the natural wall. and Beyond showed him it was okay. This is nice, though, because it wasn't actually a Reaper expand. It was just the 2 Marines popping out. This is a dead Overlord. The Overlord's going to be able to scout that there's a command center and a factory now on the way. So he'll see the whole build, but I think that's well worth it for Oliveira. It's not like this is a crazy build or anything. Maybe a little unstandard, but it looks like he's going to swap the factory onto the reactor, get some Hellions out, and I feel like Oliveira is going to be in a good spot. Now, one thing the wall like this can be weak to is actually like Ravagers. Because if you can start biling down the production, that can make it really complicated for the Terran. So, we'll see if Dark decides to do something like that. He has many a Roach Ravager build. But for now, it looks like he's just going to macro up and play defensive, reactive Zerg. You're doing pretty good. Gonna move in with the girlfriend in March. Congratulations, Bagels. That's awesome. I hope you're excited for that. I'll have to come visit. I don't know exactly where you'll be, but I bet if I go to the area, we can hang out again. It's been too long. What is this queen doing out here? What's she doing? She's trying to walk to the 3rd? She's just taking a detour to fight those Hellions? The slowness of queens off creep is actually one of my favorite things in the game. It's such a good way to, like, balance the queen. Queens are great units. They are so good. But the fact that they are just insanely slow off creep, I mean, what a fun way to, like, balance the strength of a unit when you're like, we want this unit to feel better defensively. What if when it leaves the base, it just can't. She just can't do it. The poor thing struggles so hard. Yeah, you know, that's relatable. When I leave my house, I move kind of like the queen. I'm like, oh, I don't wanna do it. Still a pretty good unit, though. Maybe the best Zerg unit. Do we think the queen's the best Zerg unit? I kind of think so. They're pretty good. This is so funny. Oliveira's entire production is in his natural. Finally, he's got some stuff building in his main. But, like, the eBays are in the main, and the follow-up racks are in the main. Usually, in this kind of build, you would see all these buildings in the natural and all the other buildings in the main base. It's just hard swapped right now. Like, this feels wrong. This feels incorrect, what Oliveira is doing. If I was watching a low-level replay and I saw this base, I'd be like, no, you should build all your stuff in the main. Don't build it down in the natural. Coaching a silver player, and their natural looks like this. Be like, no, just like put it all up in the main. To Oliveira doing the time-honored tradition of using Silver League strats, but in a good way. I love when I see pro players use strategies, and it's like, this really shouldn't work. It really shouldn't. It shouldn't be good. It's like, it feels suboptimal, but the pro players know how to use it. They know how to make it work. I mean, this isn't really one of those things. This, honestly, it doesn't really matter at all, but it's just funny to see. After years and years of being told that you have to SimCity all your buildings in the main. Oh yeah, Bagels, if you're ever in Seattle, let me know, dude. We'll go hit up the clubs, you know? I mean, not really. I mean, we could. I don't really know any of the clubs. I go to the bars. I don't really go to the clubs, but we could hit up the clubs. That's definitely, yeah, that's possible. I know there's clubs here. Or we could go sing karaoke, which is what I did last night. And it's why I'm so tired today, because I am irresponsible and stay up very late singing karaoke with friends. But it's fun. It's good times. Could go for a hike. I haven't been on a hike in so long. It's so cold out there. There's so many beautiful hikes to be had just outside of Seattle. It's actually crazy how close all of these hikes are. There's so many mountains and everything. But speaking of mountains, Dark is going to be climbing the mountain of defending this push. But uh-oh, the tanks unsieging at the most inopportune moment, separated off from the Marines by the Roaches and Ravagers. They try to get sieged back up, but they will all fall. The Marines now going to gun down each and every Ravager except one before getting picked up and boosting away. But Dark just morphs 7 more Ravagers, and he is going to go for the push. I did see some units up here. I feel like it might have been some Hellions, but they are gone now. Dark's going to go for the counterattack. I think there's enough Marines here to hold on for now. But Dark is going to keep pressuring, pushing forward. A lot of the Roaches, though, just falling. Oliveira happy to take this fight straight up with the Marines. Siege Tank coming to join as well, but he's going to have to pull back. Honestly, I don't hate this for Oliveira so far, but he does not have his 4th base up and running just yet. Whereas Dark, he's already got the 5th popped. It's up to 76 workers. He's actually droning pretty hard behind this, too. So it looks like Oliveira, he survived the counterattack from Dark, who decided to just pull back, chill it a little bit. His hive is done, so he's got an Ultra Cavern on the way, Adrenal on the way, first Viper is coming out. I think Dark's happy to take this to a later stage of the game. Interesting that he's going for Ultras. It's actually kind of funny. When this map pool first came out, Dark was going Ultras on this map, and it's funny to see him still doing that after going for the Lurkers last game and how well that worked. He doesn't want to go for Lurkers again. He's going for the Ultras. It's like on this map, he feels he has to. And we do have a drop here from Oliveira. It's going to get a few drone kills, stifling Dark's economy at least a little bit, keeping this 5th base from mining. Officer Bagel really wants to jump on this table right now. I'm going to not let him, even though he's incredibly cute. I'm going to go ahead and stop him from jumping onto the keyboard. What a cutie. Dark going to try to poke in here. He's not really doing too much pressuring, but he is maxed and probably wants to free up a little bit of supply so he can start getting into those Ultras. Dark is going to want to trade some of this out fairly soon. Oliveira is maxed as well. I don't think he has any ghosts, so he doesn't have any of those late game units. So I think we are going to see a big fight here pretty soon and some unit trading. Actually, don't see a Ghost Academy here for Oliveira, and that could be a bit of a problem. He is going to siege up in here in the middle of the map. Actually catch quite a few units off guard. Dark does have some Vipers. Bane speed is not done. Okay, it just finished. I was like, what are these Banelings doing without speed? The tanks unsiege. Oliveira needs to siege back up. They're a little bit clumped together, but the Banelings are going to dive through. Can they connect on any of these Marines? Some blinding clouds go down, so the tanks are really doing nothing. It's all on the bio. I don't think there's enough bio here. The Banelings connecting on these last few units. The Roaches and Ravagers will clean them up. The Medivacs will boost away with a handful of units left in them, but Dark retains his maxed outness as he's got 60 legs on the way. A few Ultras going to be popping out in a minute. Some Ravagers do get jumped on here. Nicely done by Oliveira. Going to be able to defend. Doesn't lose the base. That's the important thing. But I do feel like he needs to be getting into ghosts to deal with these Ultras. He should see the Ultras here. I like how the 3 Ultras are just hanging out like, oh, we'll take care of the Liberator. Don't worry. If only Ultras could fly. Oliveira coming up here, but big surround here. A bunch of the tanks unsieged. And this bio, it has nowhere to escape to. I guess the medevacs will live, so a few of them will be able to get out of there. We have a drop down here at this base. It's going to get joined by some more bio units, but I think these Lings are going to just clean it up, at least for now. But there's a drop in the lower left as well. Looks like Dark might lose a base. However, Dark is counterattacking with just about his entire army here, trying to bust up into the natural. That's a very difficult place to bust into, though, and he's going to lose Ultras trying to do it. Now it's just the Ravagers supporting as that last Ultra dies. Ravagers doing a great job filing down those Liberators and tanks, though. But Oliveira is going to keep these drops going. Looks like he killed this base. Uh-oh, Dark's losing bases back at home. Yes, he's going to clear this one. 22 SCVs going down. Dark has not really lost too many drones. He did lose 2 of his bases, so now it is 4 bases to 4. Oliveira down some workers, but wait a minute. He's actually got 5 bases. He's going to drop mules down here, build a planetary. Dark needs to get some more damage done, I think. Can he knock this base down? The danger here for Dark is if he spends too much money knocking a base down like this, he's not going to have a lot left over. And oh, the SCVs keep the planetary alive. Oh, that is so bad for Dark. He has no money. Oh, and this one lived too. I didn't even see anything hit this one, but it lives before it's even a planetary. Oliveira gonna stay on 5 bases. And Dark, in the meantime, is trying to retake both of these. Despite being up 20 workers, he's not gonna have very efficient mining. And with those mules, Oliveira is gonna jump ahead in the economy. And worst of all for Dark is he just spent a ton of banelings trying to kill 2 planetaries and failing. He killed more SCVs, but not nearly enough to make that worth it. And now we see the supplies evening right up as Dark does not have the money to remake that army. And Ultra Ling Bane is not an army you want to be trying to remake on a bad economy. See Oliveira trying to fight against some of these Banes. A bunch of Ultras did pop. Where are the ghosts, Oliveira? Where are the ghosts, bud? I feel like ghosts here would be so insanely good to snipe these units. There's Vipers out too. I feel like this is really when you want ghosts, but Oliveira, he's going for the brute strength, brute force kind of thing. Dark's going to try to hit from this side. I don't think Dark can take this army right now. He turns around immediately. That army is scary from Oliveira. Dark says, screw it, I'm counterattacking. Lings and Ultras diving in here. Planetaries are good, but Ultras are like really good. SCVs could try to repair this, but it looks like they're just going to run away. This planetary will hold strong for now, but Oliveira's pushing through as well. He's going to kill this base. Liberator going to siege up on this one. It looks like the base will die, though, as Oliveira is focused on the other side of the map. Again, losing a lot of SCVs. A massive fungal here, but there's not really a follow-up to it. The Ultras coming in. Blinding Cloud on this side. More Ultras with a few Ravagers. Is it enough? Can Dark bust this? It looks like he can. The full surround, a couple of spells, and because he killed those 2 bases on the other side of the map, Oliveira is forced to tap out. An actual slugfest once again between these two. I really thought Oliveira was going to have that one. He had such a terrifying army, but Dark pulling him out of position with the counterattack, killing a couple of bases, and then just taking a beautiful engagement, collapsing on that army, hitting a big fungal, a couple of big blinding clouds, and then just having Ultras on the left, Ultras on the right. That bio army was stuck in the middle with you. He really stole his wheel with that one. It doesn't make any sense, but it's a good reference. Trust me. GG. Dark wins it 2-0. Hi. Did you want to show your butthole off to everybody? Yeah.